Isn't it funny? The one time I have a chance to go on break, take a holiday from work, and want to spend a weekend not even thinking about work, is the weekend that we decided to get CoroCoro leaks in regards to some pretty interesting news. Yes, that's right. Unreal. I didn't think this was going to happen. But anyways, guys, aloha and welcome to another Pokemon Sun and Moon podcast discussion video. This one is, as you can probably tell by the introduction to this video, is going to be in regards to the CoroCoro leaks that we got over the weekend for the two new Pokemon that we have, which is Koala and it was the other one, Wonka. I kind of wished I had a better name for that, but that's definitely the Japanese name for the two new Pokemon that we have, plus the Zygarde forms, which we had more information on, which was the 10% form and the complete form Zygarde. So let's deal with the first bit of information first, and that was the two new Pokemon. So as I've already mentioned, we have Koala, which is the half-awake Pokemon. Now, as you can probably tell, this one is definitely based on a koala. A lot of people are going, "Oh, it's so cute!" And I'm kind of staring at this thing going, wow, this is interesting. Koalas may be cute on the outside, but on the inside, they're really aggressive. I mean, all you gotta do, I highly don't recommend it though, is go on YouTube, type in koala attack, and I think it's like a couple of videos down where you'll see two koalas fighting with each other. It is the scariest thing you're probably going to see from a cute animal. They are quite terrifying. So, because of my prior knowledge to koalas, and also not to mention, back in 2006, I was in vacation over in Queensland where they have an animal sanctuary. I got the chance to hold a koala, and even just holding this cute little thing that's been trained to be held by humans, I still left the vicinity with scratch marks all the way up my arm from the koala, like scratching me as it was running its claws both on its hands and paws along my arms. So they're not exactly friendly things at all. So I'm kind of staring at this thing thinking this is definitely going to be a quite strong Pokemon, considering its ability is definite sleep, which prevents it being afflicted with status other than sleep. So yes, it can't be affected by burn, it can't be affected by poison, can't be affected by burn, paralysis. I wonder if it can be affected by confusion, but that's technically not a status, I don't think. So it's very unique, so I don't really know where this is going to sit in regards to stats, if this is going to have some decent stats to go along with this decent ability. If it does, I'm definitely going to be seeing this Pokemon definitely high tier if it gets like an evolution or something. So that's really cool, and at the same time it's really cool for me because being an Australian, we don't really have that too many Pokemon that represent Australia. I mean, the closest we have is Kangaskhan and maybe Breloom. One part kangaroo in a way, I guess, so they're about the only two Pokemon that really represent anything from Australia. So this is pretty cool. We finally have a Pokemon that can probably come close, finally officially represent Australia. I mean, Kangaskhan was probably the closest one that we have. It did have like the functions of a kangaroo, but I never really considered Kangaskhan to be a kangaroo in some way. So I'm kind of hoping we have more Pokemon that represent more Australian known animals, like maybe the emu, for example, which is one of our animal crest. We also have the platypus roaming around. It's a bit of a shame they didn't base Psyduck or Golduck on the platypus. I think Golduck has some characteristics of a platypus, but it's more or less on the lines of a duck than a platypus. We also have like a dingo over here as well, which I kind of hope somewhere along the line they have a Pokemon based on a dingo, which would be really cool that I could scream, "Dingo, eat me baby!" Which is, yeah, it's kind of a funny saying we say here in Australia. But anyways, that's the first Pokemon that we're introduced to. So as I said, it's a pretty cool Pokemon. I'm pretty biased there because, as I said, it's an Australian Pokemon. Also, the one thing I'm kind of looking towards Koala is, and I'm really hoping their English name's a lot easier to say than the Japanese name, is the thing that it's holding. Originally, I was thinking it was like some type of drum or something, so I spent a little bit on holiday researching like Aboriginal drums or something. And I took another look at it just before this podcast. I'm like, that's not a drum. That's a stump. You idiot. So, yeah, I mean, it could be two things. It could be a drum, as I was looking at, which I came to a dead end. Or it could be like a eucalyptus stump, which is what koalas sit in most of the time, is eucalyptus trees or gum trees. Probably not eucalyptus trees now that I think about it. Probably mainly gum trees, so my bad. So yeah, there's not really much I can really say about Net Koala other than that it's going to be quite scary if it gets decent stats alongside its ability. So let's move on to the second Pokemon, which was Wonka. Wonko? I seriously hope that's got a more appropriate English name. Anyways, this one's interesting because originally I speculated this was going to be a normal type, and I think a lot of people did too, considering mostly the Pokemon we see at the beginning of the game are mainly normal type Pokemon. This, however, is a rock type Pokemon. Very interesting indeed. So it's going to be a pure rock type Pokemon, and the only guess I have behind that is because it could be, as I speculated in one of my previous podcast, it could be based on the Hawaiian Poi Dog, which, as I mentioned, was extinct. So it could possibly be a fossil Pokemon, but the fact that it's shown at the beginning of the game, I do have my doubts to that theory. It just could be based on the Poi Dog, made it a rock type I don't know. I'm kind of coming to dead ends. Like, that's my only speculation as to why it's a rock type Pokemon, or it's just a rock type Pokemon because, hey, let's do something new. So it's got the ability Keen Eye or Vital Spirit. So Keen Eye prevents it having its accuracy dropped, and Vital Spirit prevents it from going to sleep. Now, they didn't mention any hidden abilities, so I don't really know what's going on there, but if it gets the Runaway ability, then it makes it very similar to Lillipup, or if it gets any evolutions, or even if its first stage evolution. Its hidden ability could very well be Sand Rush or Sand Force, which makes it very similar to Stoutland or even Herdia, so that's pretty cool as well. I mean, I have no idea why, but I kind of got a Lillipup vibe from Wonka. Also as well, CoroCoro did hint that the three starters, Rowlet, Litten, Popplio, and Wonko, all hide a secret. Now, what exactly could that secret be? I mean, it's pretty interesting to think about. The only thing that comes to my mind is, do these four Pokemon have something to do with the bracelets that you see on the main protagonists in all their concept art shown to us so far? It hasn't been something that I've covered so far in regards to the bracelets. It could very well be a new mechanic for the new game, seeing how in every generation we've had a particular main mechanic. 6th generation had Mega Evolutions, 5th gen had the fusion mechanic, I guess you kind of call that a mechanic anyway, and so on and so forth, whereas like 4th gen had the categorization split, etc, etc. So yeah, could the secret be that these four Pokemon, their evolutions have something to do with the bracelets, or is it something far deeper than that? Who knows? Hopefully the E3 reveal kind of gives us a hint in regards to that. That'd be pretty cool, or something up the track may give us a hint as to what that secret is. So anyways, that's pretty much all I can say in regards to the new Pokemon. So let's move on to the next bit of news. This one's kind of a small one. This is in regards to Mageena, the Pokemon that we were teased about quite some time ago. So it's been revealed that the attendees at the movie will receive a Pokemon Gaola, I think it is, or Gaoli, disc, which is in regards to the recently announced Pokemon spin-off game. I think it's similar to like, I can't remember what the names are, but it's like an arcade game where you get these little discs and you insert them and you can do little stuff on the arcades. But anyways, these Gaoli discs have QR codes on them, and that is how you're going to be able to get Mageena from that. So you scan that into the Pokédex, and the Pokédex will actually tell you where to get Mageena. And they've actually told us its ability, which is Soul Heart. And the funny thing is, back when I did my Mageena speculation video, which was a very long time ago, I actually speculated that Soul Heart was going to be a signature move. So I might be slightly off there, but I came pretty close. I said it was going to be something, but unfortunately I was a little bit incorrect there. I said signature move instead of ability. So I guess half props there for being half correct. But anyways, its signature move is going to be Fleor Cannon. Now, I'm not too sure if this is going to be the Japanese name for it, or if it's going to be the English name, but yeah, its signature move is going to be sounding like Fleor Cannon. And at the same time, the other three moves that Mageena gets found with in the game will be Flash Cannon, Lucky Chant, and Helping Hand. So now that leaves us to speculate what exactly is Soul Heart going to do, because we've had no information in regards to this ability. But given the fact that it has Lucky Chant and Helping Hand, I'm going to be assuming it's going to be some type of supporty ability. I have no idea what in regards, but that's going to be my speculation for it. It's going to be some type of supporty ability that helps allies in double battles or triple battles, etc. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Also, the Magina we found at level 50 as well, so that's pretty standard for a lot of legendaries to be found at level 50. But that's all the information we have for Magina, and that's also something else I speculated as well was going to be an event Pokemon, so it's going to definitely be a mythical Pokemon for that reason. So yeah guys, we have to wait until the English event to get Magina, because this is definitely a Japanese event. God damn it. Alright, so last bit of news in regards to the CoroCoro and the news that we got on the weekend was the Zygarde forms. So I've been waiting for this news for quite some time now, only because I was curious if this was going to be real, if this was going to be anime exclusive, but it's finally confirmed to be a game exclusive thing as well, so not only just anime, which is the only place we've seen Zygarde so far. So in the footage was shown, we got to see 10% Zygarde, and it showed off 2 moves as well. So we got 1000 Arrows and 1000 Waves. Both of these, I'm pretty sure, are going to be ground type moves because they were super effective against Metagross. And that's it. It's going to be pure ground, nothing else to that at all. And then after that, we also saw the Zygarde take a hit and then get down into a pinch, which is your quarter health left. So red or low orange is a pinch. And from there, it transformed into complete form Zygarde, which, by the way, does not give off a Pokemon vibe at all. It really does give off a Digimon vibe. I'm not really too sure where I sit with Zygarde at all, if I like that or not. But it's interesting to say the least. So yeah, the ability for 10% Zygarde is Core Punisher in English, and in Japanese video it's known as Swarm Change. And as I've already explained, the ability pretty much states that when 10% Zygarde is in the pinch, it'll transform into Zygarde Complete Form, or Final Form, Zygarde, whatever you want to call it. I'm just going to call it like Ultimate Form Digimon, because that's, as I said, that's what it reminds me of. So all I can really say with that is whack a focus sash on it and you've got your Final Form Zygarde. But yes, coming along with Zygarde Complete Form, its signature move is going to be Core Enforcer. That appears to be a Dragon type move, since it does use it on a Garchomp. That turns out to be super effective. I may have been pushing it so far with the dual type attacks, seeing how that seems to be a thing at the moment, but I'm probably leading with this move being a Dragon type only move. I mean, you could take it further and say it could be a Dragon Ground type dual type move, but I'm looking at Core Enforcer to be just a pure Dragon type move. So it's interesting. I like the move because it comes down, it shoots a big hyper beam. Let's face it, it's a humongous hyper beam. Kama high at the ground, spells out a Z, and then the ground just goes poof. It's pretty cool to look at, but I kind of just wish that the Zygarde Complete Form just... I kind of wish it just gave a bit more of a Pokemon feel to it. It just... I can't explain why it's giving me just not that Pokemon vibe. It's strange. Yeah, I can't explain it. I don't know what other people feel about Complete Form Zygarde, if they think it's really cool or if it's a bit over the top. Mind you, this is the same comments that we were saying back in 5th Gen with the white and black Chiron forms. However, with them, they did give a Pokemon vibe off, I will admit that, but this one definitely does not give that Pokemon vibe off at all. It is so strange, and as I said, I can't explain my true feelings on that one because I'm so confused. Oh. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much all we had in regards to weekend news for CoroCoro leaks and the Zygarde forms, which were actually announced at the Taiwan National Championships. So, pretty unique place to give off news like that. But I can't complain, it's new news. So anyways, this won't be the only video for tonight. I do have E3 Treehouse news, if any comes out, that is, if it's anything worth covering for a podcast. I'm hoping it is, because they're definitely hyping it up. So if anything comes out for that, there'll be another video tonight. Otherwise, this will be the only one, until we get more news for Pokemon Sun and Moon. So anyways, guys, that's it from me. Until next time, this is Lady KrimZen saying ciao for now, but not forever. Ciao!